Well, this is odd because I can't. Hello, everyone, if you're watching this. I can't really see what the comments is. Oh, Sophie's here. She says hello. This is your sister, Sophie, Tom.
Oh, right. I was about to say Sophie who? I was like, who's that? Hello. Hello, friend. Hello, sister. I can't see the comments on anything, unfortunately. I'm just doing it on my phone.
No, I'm trying to get to that. I mean, I'm running it, but I don't know. I don't know how I can't see my own thing that I'm broadcasting, which is very odd. There we go. Oh, hello, Martina. Martina says hello. Please say hello,
Hello,
everybody.
Martina.
We've got 7 people watching so far. I think one of them's me.
That's great.
Yeah. So we're just going to have a bit of preamble. Please say hello in the comments. Oh, my mum's here. Hello, Susan.
Hello, Susan. Hello, Mrs. Mum.
Mummy Kirkby. So yes, please say hello if you're there. And we've got 8 people viewing this at the minute. So yeah, please say hello. Bron's here. Hello, Bron. Amy Montgomery. Hello, Amy. There we go. Do you know Amy Montgomery, Tom?
No, do you?
No, I don't. Hello, Amy. This might be our first genuine fan rather than just friends and relatives. So this is lovely. Nice to see you, Amy. So yeah, we'll
I
just have...
consider I consider all our friends and relatives to be fans.
I do too.
We still make them buy tickets.
We do. So very good. So yeah, we'll just have a bit of preamble. But if you want to write a question in the comments, we'll answer. We've got a few for each other, haven't we, Tom? Because we were a bit worried that nobody had turned up. So we've got a few questions for each other. But yeah, if you put in your questions, Francis is here. Hello. Now I
Hello.
believe Francis is a big Pottervision fan. I think she came to see us at Gulliver's when we did Pottervision 2. Which was one of the only 2 times we ever did that. And I think, Francis, were you one of the ones who was asking us just to do bits of the first one? I think that was you. Okay, so Bron says mine stopped being fans of me a long time ago. You say that, Bron, but your mum is watching the comedy sports shows every time, which is great. So, Tom, first of all, how are you? What's been going on? Give us an update.
No on me. Well, not much going on in Lawrinson Towers. We had there's a bird nest on my roof. We've got a loft conversion in the attic.
Yeah.
And these bugs came in, these bird mites, and infested the bedroom. There's hundreds of them. Meant we couldn't go in the bedroom for the longest time because they were crawling on us and biting our skin. So we're living in the lounge for a bit. But we're back in the bedroom now and still getting bitten a bit, but you know, it's only me. It's not as if it's anyone important.
What, it's only you doing the biting?
No, it's not as if it's like, you know, anyone important and getting bit.
Right, that's true. Well, I think you're doing yourself a disservice there, Tom.
Well, no. What else have I been doing? I've been putting out silly vids. I've been working. I've been, just moseying around. I had nachos for lunch.
Oh, lovely. Any dips?
Doritos, what I do with Doritos, and I put cheese on them, microwaved them, and then Tesco do a trio of tomato, guacamole, and sour cream. So I brought that along.
Oh, lovely. I was very naughty today. I went to McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. And I had a burger and some mozzarella cheese sticks, which was very nice. So we've got Amy saying, I went to see your show at the Fringe, and it's a shame that the Fringe is cancelled this year. We're gutted, aren't we? Because it's the only time we do the show normally, the Fringe.
Yeah, it's hard to coordinate 2 people who don't live together.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gutted because we made a lot of changes to the show, haven't we? We'd had Kiri and Ed from Gaines Family Gift Shop come and look at it and give us some tips on how to make it even better. So we started to work on them, weren't we?
Make it much better.
So,
But
we're
yeah, that'd be
hoping-
sad. It'd be strange not going because we've been there. We've gone to the Fringe at the same time for the past 4 or 5 years, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's about 5 years now, isn't it? I think this would be our 5th year of Pottervision, which is weird.
First year we went up and did nothing. I went and saw a load of shows. You just stood outside in the rain all day, flying
did.
for other people.
Yeah, I just went as a flyer. I wanted to kind of get a feel for the festival, but I flyed for 7 different shows, so it was like 7 hours of flyering a day, which was crazy looking back. But
Did you make any money?
Yeah, quite a bit actually. Well, cause it was like £10 an hour, so it was about
70 quid a day.
70 quid a day. So when you do that for like 25 days,
minus 1 McDonald's a day.
minus 1 McDonald's a day, yeah, it's about 65 quid a day. Well, yeah, right. We've got people commenting, which is lovely. So Frances is saying she's a fan / stalker. It's a fine line. Well, that's fine by us.
Lovely.
Bronnie's just trolling her own mum, saying she's a bored pensioner, which is fine. And yes, Francis's favourite joke is the Osama bin Laden 9/11 joke, which a lot of people seem to enjoy.
I'd argue that's the funniest thing that's ever been.
I think it's because it is something so dark, but I think it's the silliness of implying that Voldemort is bin Laden. I think it's just very stupid. Cool. So, if you want to ask us a question, please leave us a comment. How many people have we got watching us now? We've got 10 people watching us. That's lovely. Hello. So, Tom, I've got 3 questions that...
Oh, can I ask you a question first?
You can, yeah, go on.
You asked me how I was before. So instead, I'm going to ask you, have you ever stolen anything?
Oh, I accidentally shoplifted a Beano once. When I was when I was a kid, I went to a newsagent's with my dad, and I used to love the Beano. And I picked one up, and I was just reading it because I just wanted to read it. And then my dad was like, "Right, come on, we've got to go now." And then I just walked out reading the Beano. But I think I went back and paid for it because I felt awkward. And recently, I paid. This is a weird story. I paid the wrong shop for some items at Edinburgh Airport. So I was going to pick up my girlfriend Martina, who was watching, and it was something like a bottle of Sprite and some soft mints, right? And I walked out not thinking. I thought, I've not paid for these. So I went back in, but I went back into a different shop. So they scanned through the Sprite, and then there's like an error on soft mints, right? I was like, oh, these soft mints aren't scanning through. And then they get the manager in, and the manager goes, we don't even sell soft mints. And then they were like, oh, we'll just have them then. And it turned out it was from another shop.
That's not their call.
No.
Just have them. Hey, rob them.
But they'd accepted payment for a Sprite that wasn't even their stock. Because then I realised I'd walked back into the wrong shop.
That's funny.
So yeah, twice I've technically robbed something.
We don't even sell soft mint. It's about the soft mint.
yeah.
Have I stolen anything? I've probably stolen things. I've not. I got given a coffee once. I paid with a £5 and I got £20 worth of change.
Yeah.
And I kept my mouth shut about it, you know.
Ooh.
And then I think the woman who did it realised, because she was a bit stern with me afterwards because I didn't say anything.
Right. So she's just kind of judging.
Recently, I took the sticker off someone else's bin on the road and put my sticker on it. I had to have that.
What was the sticker?
You know, giving their number.
All right. Fair enough. Now, the question I was going to ask you was, and you've kind of told me a bit about this, but what have you been doing during lockdown? Have you been working or stuck at home?
Yeah, working. I go into my office, work there, which is good. I like it there because there's not that many people in because of the virus. It's a lot quieter. Yeah. And then I've been at home. Yeah, just mucking about, really. What about you? What have you been doing? You've been working?
Yeah, I've been working. So I'm working in two schools at the minute. So I'm doing in one school. It's like I'm working from home mostly, but then kind of going in and doing admin, which is mainly kind of putting things in the post, like work for students and sending it. And sometimes that's the whole day, me just like putting like packs of work into
You make me laugh, you do,
what?
because you text me before. You didn't text me today. He goes, we should prepare 3 questions to ask each other. Your question number 1 is, what have you been up to? Oh, what a question!
It took me ages to come up with that one.
How are you? And my third question is, what do you have for your dinner?
Hey, I didn't know you'd been reading this. Ask me 3 questions. Well, it's a catch-up question. But yeah. And then, to answer your question, I've been doing like maths tuition in another school with the children of key workers. So, nice and busy.
Are they good kids? Are they bad kids?
They're a bit more cheeky than the other school I work at, but they're lovely. They are nice.
How are they cheeky? Call your names? Fart with you in the room?
Yeah.
I don't say that because I'm mad. You did say that a boy did do that, didn't he? He trumped in the room and then you had to open a window.
Oh, that was during a mentoring session. Yeah, he just unashamedly did a trump and then left. And then I had to open a window. So, yeah. Right, we will come back to our questions. We're getting a couple of questions coming in. So Martina is asking, how did you two meet? Now I can't remember the first time, but I'm assuming it was at Worst Comedy Night or something like that.
I remember the first time I saw you. I remember the first time I laid eyes on you. Actually, first time we met was Worst Comedy Night. I think we'd been at another gig. I think we'd been at the Balloon or something at the same time, but we didn't meet. But Worst Comedy Night, I remember you came in doing your character of Ernest Gulbis.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I've never seen such confidence in a person. I was like, this man must be a professional comedian. You were so confident. You were like walking around doing your shtick. And then you performed. In my head, I thought, he's about 27.
How old? I'd have been about 19, I think.
19. I was like, he's about a 27-year-old man, a professional comedian. And then, I remember I think it was you, because we've been in and then in the break, I think you said hello, like came over and shook hands or something. And then, slowly. Because that's what you do with comedy. You start at the same time as some other new people and you just hang out with them for ages.
Mm. It's almost like being at the same year at school as somebody.
What was your first, do you remember your first impressions of me?
I'm not very good with memories and stuff like that. I can remember being at Worst.
That's good. That's good for a Q&A. Can't remember. Can't remember.
I can remember us doing Worst Comedy Night together. I remember you and Lewis being a team. You and your friend Lewis going to things
together.
Yeah. So I remember him coming up and telling a weird story about going swimming.
Yeah, but then once I got confident enough to go to open mics on my own, I spread me wings. And then,
that Donny Osmond leaving Murray to do a solo stint.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, and then Pottervision kind of. It was probably a couple of years after we met. Maybe we started doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we both wanted to do a show, but we didn't know what to do. And then I suggested that, and then we wrote that, and then we went up and did it.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were very humble about the whole thing, because we were like, no one will want to see this. Do they do a 5-seater room? We'll take that if they've got a 5-seater. Smallest has got a 25, right? We'll have it.
It was mad because it was a tiny room the first year. It was 18-seater. And I tell this story now at the beginning of every show about that one time because there was a screen in the room and 7 people left because a rumour had started, I don't know how, that we were just going to be playing the DVD. And but imagine a whole Edinburgh run just dedicated to playing the Philosopher's Stone on DVD once a day.
Accommodations costing me £1,000. It's cost me 700 quid for the room.
And £5.99 for this DVD. Yeah, crazy.
It was funny. You said that joke at the beginning of a show last year. You went. It was the first day of the run, and I think not many, because we're in a paid venue. Not many people had come. I think we only had like 16 people in.
Yeah.
And you went, and we were in this room. Only sat 20 people, and you're like, the same amount of people that are here today. So not much difference.
Yeah. Cause I think it was preview day, wasn't it, that day? We didn't have many people there. Oh, yeah. Okay, Bron is asking us, what is your best memory of an Edinburgh Fringe? So I'll ask you that question first, Tom.
I think part of it, like performing the show, is generally one of the best memories, because even though we've done it so many times, we'll often go out after and like congratulate each other on like how good everything was. Slapping each other on the back. Yeah, just doing the show. Like say if I'm there's a thing when I do like the sorting hat, is there's always a bit of a delay between each person coming up, and you admitted that's because instead of arranging for a new person to come up and be sorted, you're too busy just watching and laughing.
I think it's one of my favourite moments of the show because it's different every time. So during that bit when I'm supposed to be prepping the next person, I'm just sat laughing, enjoying it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know I have to find somebody.
Because you've got to find a ginger person so we can do a ginger joke at them where we go, another Weasley. You have to find someone who's in like the middle of a row of 20 going, you, come on! What must he want? And then when I say the joke, you get giddy going, I told him to do that.
I know it's coming. I think, we can do that joke this time. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Cool.
Best memory of last year was about 2 years ago. You were doing Invisibility Cloak, and a full-grown man spanked you on the arse about this hard. He went, right. It was so hard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he spanked you on the arse, and then you turned around and you said, "I'm 11 years old." What did you say?
Yeah. I'm 11 years
old.
I'm
11 years old.
But then, because that's such a funny moment, we now bring it up at that point in every show. And then last year, we did that whole bit, and I said to the audience, last year when I did that, a man spanked me. And then the bloke in the audience went, that was me! And it was the same bloke who'd been there last year. And you brought him up to spank me again.
Yeah, I went, do you want another go? And I held you. And he came up, he ran and spanked your bottom.
He did a run up.
And just like any time where I always get a bit carried away, like if the laugh gets a bit too big. I think I held you for a bit too long, and I went, anyone else? And the laugh had gone, just silence.
Imagine the whole audience just queuing up to spank me.
That'd be a show worth seeing.
Why didn't you get to the end, boys? Well, the spanking took up all the time. Yeah. It is for me my favourite Edinburgh Fringe memory in general is Edinburgh is where I met my girlfriend. Yes, so she wasn't at the Fringe; she was just in Edinburgh visiting and doing a tourist thing. So it was I've got to say that really that was my favourite moment. But in terms of Pottervision, one of my most favourite things was when we were asked to do a Harry Potter convention. And it was a bit outside of Edinburgh.
Oh
and
my
God. The person who'd asked us to do it had seen the show, and she told us just do the show. And we turn up, and there's like kids.
I think she must have said tone it down a bit, but we just forgot. Maybe watch your P's and Q's.
Maybe, yeah. But we ended up
doing mind your P's and Q's.
There were loads of kids there, so we were like, right, let's just do it, but let's cut out any swearing. You just did the normal show. and, and I think a couple of people complained that day, didn't they? But then we came back the
Well,
second day and it was a bit more reserved.
yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, we've never really performed holding a microphone. We had to hold a microphone.
Oh, it was
There's nothing
awkward
we could
changing
really do.
wigs and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, to hold a microphone. I think I might have said the F word, but I'd never do that again. I learnt my lesson that time. No, we went back the next day. We had 3 in a row, and we went back the next day. The next day was the best one,
Yeah.
and the middle one, and then the third one. Yeah, but yeah, it's hard. But yeah, I'd love to do it again. That was fun.
Yeah, really fun. Okay, so we're getting loads of questions, which are good. So Rachel's saying hello, Rachel. So Francis is asking, are there any plans for an online Fringe this year? And if so, will you be taking part? Now, we've had an email, haven't we, from the stand saying that they're thinking about putting something together.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Oh, right, but we're still waiting on more details. So I don't know if that's going to look like an online Fringe or if it's going to look like an actual show in Edinburgh, but with kind of limited audience. I don't know. But as soon as we know anything, we will let you know too. Yeah, because they're starting to
How
open.
how do you reckon that'd work?
Well, because thing is, you just have to make sure the seats were social distance. But if you had, say, a family of 4 coming, they would all be able to sit together, wouldn't they? Because they're in the same household. But then you'd have to make sure each group was kind of spread out. But it'd be tough because in that room we were in last year, which probably held about 200, it would have to cut down to like 50 maximum, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to. Yeah, so we've no idea really, but yes, we will post stuff as soon as we know. Rachel is asking Tom, which HP character is the most fun to play and why? Who do you prefer to play?
Who do I play? I think my favourite is probably the Sorting Hat, or anything with a mask. Really, whenever you get a mask on. Whenever you get a mask on and like you become a different person, like you're just a pair of eyes and a smile. I like playing. Sorting Hat's good, but you have to get people up, which you never know how it's going to go. Yeah, you never know. Like, it could be. There's been times where that's gone bad getting people up because. On the first one, we got our flyers. They sent in a load of like French people, like a family of 10 French people who didn't really speak English, and like the dad was like, "Will it be suitable for us? We don't speak English." And then they went, "Yeah, get in, go on, get your tickets, get in there." And then we kept dragging them up throughout the show, and they didn't really know what was going on. Who else do I play? Yeah, Bin Laden's.
You seem to have the most fun playing Bin Laden at the end.
Or even Harry sometimes. Harry's good. Because Harry, when I'm doing Harry, that's just me. I'm just being me. What about you, Lucas?
There's 2 really. I really like being Voldemort at the end, and just I think it's the reveal and the evil eyes, and I like to like wink at people as I'm revealed. So it's that probably, and who else? Oh, and I do like being Snape as well. That's fun.
Yeah, that's very good. I think that's like a high point for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Snape.
I think it's around that point in the show where anyone who didn't quite get it up until that point is on board by.
You think? I think they always get on board on the jelly bean bit.
Oh yeah.
But they are right next to each other.
I was going to ask you about this. We've got loads of comments, by the way, but I was going to ask you about this. How do you feel like? Because for those who haven't seen it, there's a point where you spit a jelly bean into my mouth, and then we get somebody up from the audience, and then I spit a jelly bean into their mouth.
Yes.
My question is,
it's a comedy show. Go on.
Yeah, in the light of recent events, do we think that people will be less willing to go up and do that now?
Um, no, I don't. I think people are still up for it. I think we did it. We did a show about 2 weeks before the lockdown, and the bloke did it. You made him do it. Remember?
Oh, in Leeds, yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
bit. I mean, the momentum of the bit had lost itself completely. But you went, someone has to do it, and then you dragged the bloke up out the audience. He spat in his mouth.
It's usually you that's holding the red down.
We did that once. It was really funny. So I remember holding a man, his arms down, so he'd take a jelly bean, and you weren't even doing it. You were just shaking your head in fear. And I remember you going, I don't know. You had to have a word with me afterwards, saying you shouldn't do that to people.
You were like physically restraining him. This bloke who looked so petrified.
I think he was a boy. Anyway.
Okay, so I'll just read through some comments. Bron says that would have been brilliant, but I'm not sure what you're referring to because that was 10 minutes ago. I need to get more up to date with these comments. Francis is saying, I was at what I think might have been at the first ever show in previews week, the first year. Our friend Katie got called for the letters, and rather than making it rain, just threw fistfuls of them at you. So I'm trying to think I think our first show was in Stockport, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think she's saying first show of the Fringe, not preview.
Yes.
Preview at the Fringe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very good. Yeah, it would have been in that tiny cinema room.
I remember the first day at the cinema room. We went in, and we tried flyering for an hour, but there weren't that many people about. It was about we're flying because the show was about 12, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 12 or 1 or something. Yeah, something like that.
12 or 1. We were like, so we're flying, and then we were like, oh, we'll just have to see if anyone's down there. We went down, and there was a full room of people, and we were like, are you waiting for something? We've got a show. And they were like, oh yeah, we're here for your show. And we were like, hey.
It was crazy, wasn't it? And like every day it was the same. And I think it's about a week into it that we got like every Wednesday they put us into a bigger room, didn't they? Because it was free. But yeah, that was crazy. Tom, you'll never guess who's in our comments.
Go on.
Ali Ogilvy, who was the person who spanked me at the shows, is watching right now. Hello, Ali. We miss your warm hands. We hope to see you next year at the Fringe. So that's lovely that you are here.
That'd be great, Ali, if that could be a component of every show.
There was a man yesterday. That was me. Matthew is here. Hi, Matthew. He's saying, enjoying this, gents. And Ali's saying, happy to make an appearance every year for a cut. Okay, that's good. Dawn is here. We know Dawn. Hello, Dawn. Nice to see you.
Hello, Dawn.
And my mum's saying you can't do jelly beans with social distancing. But I think, Tom, if you practice your spitting from the distance, I think we could make that work.
Yeah, we could do it. If you held a... That's funny. If you had a funnel in your mouth and had spat into the funnel.
Just a hose. like a pea shooter. That would be great. Oh, so Andrew's asking us an interesting question. Andrew Marsh, hello. So Andrew's asking...
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, nice to see you. I saw you do Chamber of Secrets, a.k.a. Pottervision 2 preview. That was great. Thank you. Why did you ditch it? That's an interesting question. Do you want to answer this one, or shall I?
I'll answer it. So, it was quite silly with venues at the Fringe last year because we were about to return to our free venue to do Harry Potter Pottervision 2, but then the building got demolished or whatever, and so they wanted to move us to a really bad room. This was really last minute, and it was in a tiny room, like a 50-seater with terrible seats, and there was a portaloo in the room as well. So we got kindly offered by the Stand. Did you go to that room? There was a Portaloo in there.
Yeah, I did a stand-up show there. It was crazy.
We got offered by the Stand to do their one, but it'd be ticketed, and so we thought rather than take an unfinished show and charge people, we should probably take the best show we've got.
Yeah. So the whole thing was written. I think we did 2 previews, didn't we? Of that, one at Gulliver's and one at the Verve, I think, in Leeds. So yeah, it's all there, and I think we definitely are going to revisit that at some point, aren't we?
Yeah, and this, and then definitely, this. I think can be a better time too. There's so many things going on in the world. We can plow it all into the show.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a load of scenes in there that I'm gutted we haven't done more. Like the Dobby scene. We brought the Aragog scene into the first show, didn't we, last year? Because we just enjoyed it.
Actually, I know my favourite Edinburgh memory was we were walking around the streets and Lukas was dressed as Dobby, flyering. He was in a potato sack with a bald wig on. And then, what would you say? Oh, come to the cafe show. No,
I'd go
Harry Potter parody show.
Harry Potter comedy. Yeah, something like that.
And then it's got like a local lady pointing at Lukas, and must have said something like, "Oh, look, it's Dobby." And then Lukas gave her husband a flyer, and the husband went, "Thank you, doggy."
I didn't know what he thought I was. And I'm sure he patted me on the head as well. Thank you, doggy.
Thank you, doggy.
It's
Doggy. Look, it's Doggy.
Doggy the household. So yeah. Rachel, Mia says hello. Hello, Mia. Mia, probably our youngest viewer tonight. Andrew says, I love you guys, which is lovely. Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, love you, Andrew.
My mum is asking, are you guaranteed a venue in 2021 with this year being cancelled?
Probably.
The answer is we don't know, but we think it's probable, don't we?
Yeah, we've got a good relationship with the Stand.
Yeah.
But then we never know what's going to happen. They might lose all their venues. There's a lot of things like bars and things are going under, so who knows what the Fringe will look like in a year.
Yeah, no idea. So,
people keep saying that, but I kind of think there's such demand for the Edinburgh Fringe, people wanting to be outside, drinking, seeing shows, that someone will just have to supply some stuff. Someone will do it.
Yeah, we definitely want to be up there, don't we, in 2021, and I'm sure somebody will have us, but we hope it's the Stand because we really loved being there last year, didn't we? It's like being royalty.
Yeah.
It was odd, wasn't it? Because we went from fending to ourselves to having somebody set up the stage for us and do sound, and we actually had a backstage area and a dressing room.
It was funny.
We never used the dressing room, did we? We always were just either in the toilets or backstage.
The dressing room it's like a shared dressing room for all the shows that would happen. So our shows were in the smaller room downstairs. And then later on that evening, like 8 p.m. or something, Stuart Lee's show was on in the bigger room. And I used to joke around saying that we'd sit around in the dressing room waiting till he gets there going, "You got a show here too?" "Yeah, so have we." When was yours? 8 hours ago.
Just waiting to meet him.
Yeah, but that was funny because when we were in the free venue, we had to do everything, let people in, collect glasses, do everything. And then
we'd be like turning the aircon off, we'd have to turn the lights on.
It's funny though, as soon as you're in it's funny how quickly you become accustomed to something, because then we were in the paid venue and I'd be like, go to Lukas, one of the members of staff looked at me funny.
And we'd get like a free can of pop every day, wouldn't we?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, worth going paid for that. Free can of pop a day.
Yeah. Okay, Rachel is asking, can you do more Pottervision videos, please? So we did a few
You
sketches,
you
didn't we?
you've got two that you've not put out, haven't you?
One, I think. There's one. I don't want to spoil it, but it might not be as relevant now. But we were going to do a parody on the fact that celebrities are doing audiobook readings of Harry Potter at the minute. So we were going to do something based on that. So that might come out. But yeah, I think we should do a few more, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Cool. So I'm going to ask you one more of my three questions, and it's not just what have you been up to. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to type them in the comments. Tom, if we had a third celebrity member of Pottervision, who would you want it to be?
Oh, celebrity member of Pottervision. Oh, how exciting! A celebrity on the stage. We got emailed once asking us, can Joel Dommett crash your show? And we went, no.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we got this email being like, Joel Dommett is doing this thing for charity or something where he's gate crashing like 30 Edinburgh shows in a day or something. Can he gate crash yours? And then we just sent an email back, no.
No, that'd be shit.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Just back. No, we're all right.
Who would I like to have? I don't know, Mr. Bean.
Who would not Rowan Atkinson, but Mr. Bean? Who would Mr. Bean play in Pottervision?
I'd love that so much. Me, you, and Mr. Bean. That'd be funny. Oh, I've got some news. Yeah, two of us have dropped out. I'm still here.
Teddy hasn't dropped out. It's Voldemort. Oh.
Yeah, my answer's Mr. Bean. What about you?
A similar Mr. Bean, Mr. Blobby. I would.
Really?
I'd love to have Mr. Blobby trash the stage, and then Noel Edmonds have to like escort him off. We carry on.
I wouldn't be into that.
No.
I'll ask you a question. If you had an invisibility cloak, what would you do?
Oh, what would if I had an invisibility cloak?
Would you shoplift and go pay for the items later?
I'm trying to think what I would. It's all a bit sneaky, isn't it? I feel like you always have to be up to something to use an invisibility cloak. I'd quite like to play havoc with people, like childish pranks, or convince somebody that there's like a poltergeist in their house.
Oh, that's
Just
fun.
like throw a vase. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got such a conscience on you. You'd immediately go, I can't keep this up any longer. It's me, Lucas, with an invisibility cloak.
Yeah, I feel bad. I think once I'd like played with the lights a bit and chucked a potted plant, I think I'd have to like come clean and say it was me, not a Victorian child.
You're like George Washington. You can't tell a lie.
What does that even mean?
Even I've heard you on. I listened to a podcast you were on once, and you can't even embellish or make up or exaggerate because someone went, well, how did you come up with the idea of Pottervision? And you went, well, you'd have to ask Tom. And then left the question there. That's funny for the listeners. You'd have to ask Tom. It's nothing to do with me.
Okay, so we've got a couple more questions coming in.
Go on.
Excuse me. Amy is asking, are you on low battery?
No. I was just I've got my jokes in my notes, and I was going to none of my jokes, my questions.
Your questions. So Amy is asking, what is your favourite Potter film? And also Bron is asking, why are you bouncing? What's your phone on?
Oh, I've got a phone stand, like Yeah, if you can't be bothered holding your phone, you can get like a clamp for it that holds it.
Oh, that's cool. But I've got one that's rigid, so this one doesn't bounce. So you can just have it on like that, and then it.
Well, I'll show you mine. Mine's on this bracket,
Oh yeah,
and so I can like bend it anywhere.
that's cool.
Oops.
So yes, do you
What was
have
the
a
question?
favourite
What's
Potter film?
I really like. I don't know. I always think that the most fun one is Prisoner of Azkaban.
Hmm.
But then I always think to Order of the Phoenix. I think that's just because I really like that scene where Dudley is picking on Harry at the swings, going,
Oh yeah.
"Don't kill Cedric. Who's Cedric? Your boyfriend."
Oh, and then the storm clouds gather. You know.
Yeah, it's
I
good
don't think
scene
what
though.
mine is. One of them that stays with me is the Chamber of Secrets. I remember really liking that one. And Goblet of Fire is an interesting one for me as well because it has a lot of like new characters and it's really starting to get darker, which I quite like. And that's the one where Voldemort is like properly back. So it feels like an
I don't. I
end.
don't. I don't think any film is as memorable as the first one.
No. I mean, but I feel like because we've done so much work on that and we've seen it so many times, I think maybe the shine of that one is gone for us.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, I've got a question. Oh, did I ask my question for you? What's my
I don't
question?
know.
Um. Oh yeah. Have you ever had a crush on anyone from the Wizarding world?
Um, I don't even know.
He can't say because his lady's listening. He can't say.
I don't think she'd mind. Who- There's nobody that comes to mind. Because I remember a lot of kids in my year at school used to fancy Emma Watson, but
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, but she never really caught my eye. Um, so I don't know
You telling me?
really.
You telling me you never fancied a child?
I think it's all right when you are a child. I think you're allowed to fancy your own age if you're a,
Fair enough.
you're a
Fair enough.
teenager.
That old excuse, eh?
Yeah, but for me, Mrs. Sprout. What about you? Did you have any Harry Potter crushes?
I don't know. Maybe Mummy Malfoy.
Milfoy.
Oh, I don't go for that. It's creep.
Fair enough. Yeah, you like a bit of Narcissa.
No, it's just yeah. Who else? I don't know. In the book, the cake that Hagrid bakes for Harry is a chocolate cake.
What's that got to do with anything?
Is it a chocolate cake in the film?
I don't know. I feel like we've gone off track with who do we fancy in the Potter universe. Okay, let's have a look. So Jerry says hi. Hello, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
My mum is asking me, or us, have you bought any new props for the show? Well, one thing we have added, I feel like we're all friends here, so we can spoil little things, is for the bean bit, we have made certificates. So now, when somebody swallows the bean, there we play a karaoke version of "Congratulations" by Cliff Richard and hand them a certificate and pull party poppers. Which we've only done what we did it in Leeds and just before lockdown started, and I thought that was such a fun show because we were trying loads of new things out, and I love the fact that we played "Congratulations" while we shook hands with somebody and gave them a certificate.
It's funny when sometimes you can get a prop and then never use it. Oh, we've got loads of props for the second show. I didn't even think about.
Mm.
Yeah. We had a prop for the show last year that we didn't even use. We might have used it twice, but it just seemed so threatening. We had a butt plug that we'd show to the audience, but people did not like the sight of it. It upset them.
I think it upset me as well. had like a dog tail on the end of it, didn't it? Oh dear.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was just to show to them, like an AJ Hill prop. Look at this.
Okay.
Do you have a joke about it? No.
Look at this. It's disgusting, isn't it? Back to the show. Rachel is saying Mia keeps calling you Lucas and Tommy. So that's your new name. Have you considered doing a child-friendly version of the show for high schools, for example? What do we think? Do we think high schools could benefit from Pottervision?
Yeah, I'd do it. Whatever.
We'd have to change a lot of it, wouldn't we?
And for today's assembly, Pottervision. Oh, that bloke looks a bit upset.
What would be the lessons? What would be the learning experience for kids watching Pottervision?
I don't know. How to have a laugh and get paid for it.
Yeah. And if you two work hard, eventually you'll be able to muck around for a month. To get paid, yeah. Brilliant. Cool. Jade is here. Hello, Jade.
Hello, Jade.
I've got a funny story to tell about Jade. Early on in Pottervision, before we answer her question. So originally we considered, I don't know if Jade remembers this, but there's a bit in Pottervision where I put on an invisibility cloak, and then we run round and cause havoc. So like messing up somebody's hair, give somebody a massage and stuff like that. And originally we were going to ask Jade if she could be there just so we could squeeze her boob and have that be randomly part of the show. I don't know if you remember that, Jade, but I think that idea was soon scrapped.
You did it that time. I remember writing that, and you, as a 19-year-old boy, going, Jade will do that. Jade will let me grab her boobies every day. Of course she will.
I can't remember.
I think the day she came to see it, Jade was stood in like there was like at the side of the room, there was like an alcove.
Yeah.
Jade was stood in there watching. And then you went, I'm invisible, I'm grabbing this woman's boobies. And you put your hand in the alcove. But Jade, being such a performer, made sure to walk out a bit so the rest of the audience could see and went, ooh.
That's brilliant. And Jade is commenting, me chebs. You're right, me chebs.
Chips.
And laughing about that. But Jade's question is, if you could polyjuice, who would you...
You could grab anyone's boobies.
Whose would they be? If you could polyjuice, who would you polyjuice into?
That's a great question. But what are the rules of polyjuice? How many hours have you got for polyjuice?
Let's say 3. Or
3
1.
hours.
Depends how much you drink, I think.
Go on, I'll let you answer that one.
Thank you. If I could polyjuice into anybody, I think it would be funny to polyjuice as somebody. I think I would like to polyjuice as somebody famous, and then do something ridiculous, like not as in that would ruin their career, that would just be like ridiculous. So, like for instance, polyjuicing into somebody like I don't know, say I don't know, Nigel Havers, just a random actor, and then just going in the street and like for like an hour, why is Nigel Havers dancing like that? And then he would somehow have to be like, that wasn't me. I don't know. I think it'd just be funny to do something ridiculous.
It's funny the different way our minds go, because you said my first instinct was, maybe I'd polyjuice into Tom Cruise and run around asking people for money. Please can I have some money? It's me, Tom Cruise. And then people are like, why? Or like, it'd be, you don't got to make it worthwhile, wouldn't you? So like maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be good. You'd polyjuice into someone notable, film yourself doing something disgusting, and then blackmail them with it.
And just get the money. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'd like. I would like to polyjuice into 20 different celebrities and then make my own Imagine video. Singing one line each of Imagine. See if it goes viral. But with a ridiculous song like I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts or something.
That's good. Really?
Why are all these celebrities singing I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts? Raising money for like donkeys.
Really A-class celebrities as well.
Yeah, proper good ones, yeah.
Who would Jade polyjuice into?
Yes, Jade, join the discussion. Who would you polyjuice into? Let us know. Bron is asking, what is a polyjuice? So, in Harry Potter, in the Chamber of Secrets, there's a special potion called a polyjuice potion. And I will spell it correctly because Jade is writing it as two separate words. Poly as in a parrot and then juice.
Parrot juice.
Like parrot juice, yeah. I'm laughing because it sounds like carrot juice. And it's a drink, and you need a bit of the DNA of somebody in the potion. So like a hair or
hair, spit,
dead
skin.
Yeah. You drink it, and then you turn into that person for a limited amount of time. And there's a very hilarious moment where Hermione takes a hair from a girl's robes, but little does she know that it's cat hair, and then she turns into a cat. So, there we go. So, Bron is asking, what is your favourite audience comment? Which is an interesting question.
Audience comment? Have you got one, Lucas?
This is not a funny answer, but I think the comments I always love to hear on the way out is when it's usually women who have dragged unwilling boyfriends and husbands, and they say something like, he didn't want to come here, or he doesn't like Harry Potter, but he loved it, or he really liked the show. I think that's a good sign that it's a fun show when somebody who is going in a mood.
People have such low expectations for it. The amount of people have said, I thought it was going to be shit, but it's actually really good. Oh, what a compliment.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's very weird. And I think like it was interesting last year because obviously it was then paid tickets rather than coming in for free.
I remember a bloke said to me once, a bloke said to me, not even joking, he was from a different country. He said to me, you look like royalty. You look like a prince or a king. I'm not even kidding. And I was like, that's fantastic.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. In his eyes, I look like royalty.
Okay, so I think we're going to do this we're going to go up till 7 o'clock, so we've got about 10 more minutes. So if you've got any final questions, feel free to ask. Francis is asking, would a jelly bean that someone else had already chewed work for polyjuice potion? I think it would, because there'd still be saliva residue on the bean, wouldn't there?
Well, there'd be 3 people's saliva.
Oh, that'd be weird, turning into like a mashup of 3 people. Oh, that'd be interesting. If you put a hair of 2 different people in the potion, what would happen?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so no one way to find out.
Ask J.K. Rowling.
I think she's a bit busy at the moment.
She's a bit busy. Don't ask her anything at the minute, please.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Jerry is asking, would we're getting to the hardcore stuff now. Would you make out on stage for a generous donation? If so, how much of a donation? Would we kiss on stage, Tom, for money?
£10,000 each.
I'd snog you for 10 grand.
I think £5,000 each.
Yeah, £1,000 each.
Yeah, £1,000.
500. 20p, I'd do it. Yeah, 20p. Just a round of applause will do us. We don't mind. We'll pay you to watch.
Who asked that? Jerry? Who's Jerry?
I don't know who Jerry Khan is. I'm assuming somebody who's watched the show. But his profile picture is a dog, so that does not help. And I think it's like,
No.
it doesn't look
Oh
like his
no!
dog, it's like a comedy dog picture. So we don't know who you are, Jerry, but thank you for your question.
On stage as well is so funny because I'd pay and I'd want a load of people to watch with me. So
Come on, guys, I've paid for this, don't worry. This is on me. What are we watching? It's the boys from Pottervision. Who are they? Just watch. Hey. Oh, buddy.
oh,
So, Susan is asking us, have all of the tour tickets been transferred to the new dates? And I believe the answer is yes. Yeah, so we did have 2 shows set for, was it April?
April.
Yeah. But they've been moved to October, so we're at, hopefully we're at the Manchester Comedy Store on the 28th of October now, and we're at the Bill Murray Theatre in London on the 29th. So yeah, I think anyone who booked tickets got the option to either transfer the tickets or get a refund. So that's what's happening. And I do hope they're going on in October. It'd be nice to get back on the Pottervision wagon.
And it's been like a weird pause in life, hasn't it? Like we're all on standby. Especially this week's been so glum. It's been so overcast where we are.
Well, because me and you both do stand up as well, don't we? And it's all kind of come to a halt.
Yeah, just doing nothing.
So yeah, we do hope things can kind of get back together soon, but only when it's safe to do so. But yeah. Sophie is asking, has anyone ever got aggressive or angry when you've pulled them on stage? Which sounds a bit... I think it says pulled them up on stage. I made it sound more rude than it was.
Yeah, there was Lucas. Lucas is one of these people who sees all God's creatures as beautiful and equal. He doesn't judge anyone. He thinks everyone's the same. But the fault of that, sometimes he pulls up inappropriate people onto stage. We did Pottervision about 2 years ago, and in the front row was this smelly tramp who looked like one of the twits, the whole twit. Great big bloke with cornflakes in his beard and stains all down his trousers. And we got him up for the owl scene to throw envelopes, and instead of throwing them at Lucas, he threw them into the audience, and he threw them at me as well, like angry. And then when we asked him to pick them up, he said no and walked off.
But then he came back next year, that bloke.
He loved it.
Well, sometimes as well, I don't like... I just want to get anybody up, and I didn't notice. I got somebody up to be Fang, Hagrid's dog, not realising that she had both legs in a cast and was on crutches. So she probably wasn't the best person to get to crawl around the stage.
Yeah. Lucas went, will you bend down? She goes, I can't. My knees are broken. He went, fair enough.
So, yeah, there we go. So, there's a few questions that we had in advance, and I feel bad not asking
Okay,
these.
yeah, let's get them. These are the best for last.
So, these are from Mr. Saturday Night himself, Mr. Jack Gledo. So, Tom, have you thought about adapting other films from different genres and parodying them? Well, didn't we have an idea about Wonkavision once? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Wonkavision. Dude. Two of us. That'd be really fun. I'm obsessed with Willy Wonka because it's that's like Harry Potter 1. It's such one of the memorable films with so many iconic and key phrases.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm assuming we'd do the old Gene Wilder version, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when that other one came out. I was excited to see it, but Not worth rewatching, is it? Are there any
The
films
weird
that you'd like
subplot
to?
about him having braces.
Well, Matilda would be a really good one to do. Maybe like all sort of load of Roald Dahl ones. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Roald Dahl Vision or something. Yeah.
Or
But
Robin Williams' Vision.
oh yeah, that'd be good. What was I going to say? I always thought it weird in that remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where they just thought, let's give Willy Wonka's teeth a subplot. It's just like this whole story about him getting braces and walking around with these braces. That was the backstory when he did that.
Is that even in the book?
No, don't think so.
I've never read the book.
Okay, so I think we've talked about our favourite show that we did. I was saying I did enjoy the last one we did, which was a preview of kind of the newer bits we'd added in Leeds. That was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, I remember a favourite show once. We did a show last year at the Fringe, and the audience were just so silly.
Yeah.
They were just laughing at anything, which means a lot if you're not very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It does. Okay, we've got one more question from Jack. Have you thought about doing sketches and other formats with Pottervision? Well, sketches is something that we've started to play about with during lockdown, haven't we? We've put a few together. I think we're definitely thinking about doing more of that, aren't we?
Yeah, I think with sketches, if me and you can get away with doing live stuff with bad props, but on video, I think it's better to have like good props because I don't know, it's harder to excuse because we can like make up for it with our live performance, whereas on video, there's that detachment.
Yeah, and they've got to work on their own, haven't they?
Yeah.
Whereas the show, the whole conceit is that we've put it together last minute and they've taken all the props and stuff. Whereas the sketch is a 2-minute clip that somebody who will never have seen Pottervision will look at. So it's got to kind of work on its own, hasn't it, and look good. So yes. And finally, Martina gave this question in advance. What is your favourite scene in the show?
I like the ones that you do sometimes because I get to have a rest. You just sit there while everyone does something.
Yeah.
And you think, I think what's my favourite bit? Maybe sometimes Ollivander's, probably maybe the Sorting Hat for me.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say the Sorting Hat as well because I think it's because I'm just like sitting and watching it, and I do like getting people out of the audience when they sometimes.
Maybe even.
Yeah, go on.
I like the ones that we're doing together because then like sometimes Snape can be so funny sometimes, just because I'll have to really hold in my laughter like at you.
Yeah, really funny. Cool. So, unless you have any more questions to ask, Tom, anything lined up?
No, I'm flat out.
I think we'll call it a day. So, thank you so much to everybody who has come and watched. We're hoping that we'll be able to see you in person at some point. If it's not in the October shows, it might be in next year's Fringe or in the new year or something. But we're hoping to put more kind of
maybe in heaven.
Maybe in heaven. We'll see you by the harpist. But thank you so much. We're hoping to put more online stuff soon. But thank you so much for coming. Bron is saying, thanks, boys. I've not understood any of the Harry Potter stuff. Well, for that we can only.
Well, I mean, you are on a
apologise.
Harry Potter chat show, so.
Rachel is saying, bye from me and Mia. Goodbye, Mia.
Bye, Mia. Bye,
goodbye,
Rachel.
Susan. Goodbye, Mother. Goodbye, Bron. Ali is saying, keep up the good work, boys. Ali, I want you spanking my bottom next August. So I'm praying.
Fingers on ice, Ali.
Yeah. Keep doing your exercises for next year. Thanks for watching, Amy. Bye. We're just getting. We'll give it a few minutes. People are saying goodbye. Francis is saying goodbye. Thanks, guys. Great Q&A. Can't wait to be 2 meters away from you. Right. Daryl is late. Daryl, do you have one final question? Daryl, you can ask a question, and that'll be our Jerry's final thoughts of this Q&A. Martina has given us an applause. Ali is saying can't wait. So I'm looking forward to being spanked by him. Sophie is saying see you guys soon. Thanks for coming, Sophie.
Bye, so.
I think my dad has suddenly turned up, and I think he's asking us a joke. What do Harry's best friend and his cooking pot have in common? Right, we've got to try and
Go
guess
on.
this now. Right,
So
yeah,
it's,
go on, give us the answer. I'm assuming it's Ron. We'd have to put the answer to that one.
Cooking pot.
Oh, that's
Fire?
actually quite funny.
What?
They're both Cauldron. Cauldron. That's actually quite funny. That's going in the show next year. Daryl, we've already discussed this, yes. Do you worry about your jelly bean exchange now we are more conscious about the disease? But I think we are, yes. But I think we're still confident that there will be one nutter in every show who will take a bean that's been in two men's mouths previously.
Is that Daryl from Comedy Small?
It is Daryl, yeah, Daryl Fishwick.
We were out for your birthdays once, Lucas, and I accidentally put my finger in Daryl's mouth somehow. I think I was dancing a bit too. I don't know, over the top. Maybe I was too drunk. I remember him giving. He gave me such a shove, saying that went in my mouth. Shoved me away.
I don't even remember that, but the fact that that happened is wonderful. So there you are, Daryl. Thanks for coming in and asking us that final question. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, hopefully see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Right, I've got to figure out how to stop this now. Oh, this is going to be very awkward. Shall I just stop the meeting and then hope that stops the video?
Sure.
Okay, goodbye everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.